I just don't care. Okay, we're set. We're now doing the Virgin Galactic earnings on the Extra channel. That's now happening live on the Extra channel. So if you just tuned in on the Extra channel, you are waiting for Virgin Galactic's earnings. You've got plenty of time. The call hasn't yet started here on the main channel. We are doing NVIDIA. So welcome everybody on the Extra channel. For those of you who are wondering, if you want to see what it looks like behind the scenes as we wait for NVIDIA, this is SPCE on Extra. If you want to just jump in and see what it looks like, there you go. That is Virgin Galactic on the Extra channel if you want to tune in. This is what it looks like. The call hasn't yet started. I'll just give you a little glimpse. This is behind the scenes. You can see behind the scenes here. And if I just check the audio, it should be coming through. As we wait for NVIDIA, this is SPCE on Extra. If you want to just jump in and see what it... There you go. That's what it looks like, and that's what it sounds like on the Extra channel. We're covering two earnings calls tonight at the same time. It's a big, big night tonight. We've got lots of stuff to cover. Lots of stuff. All right, NVIDIA is up. The S&P is up. This is my position here, my overall position. It's going back up again. We are green. The studio is green. We've got some time to go. I'm going to bring you some news right now. Let's get everyone to tap the like button. We need 100 likes, please. There are 320 people watching. We need to get this suggested on YouTube so everyone knows what's going on. If we get 100 likes, YouTube share it out. Please, everyone, tap the like button. Let's go, 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 go. Tap the like button straight out of the gate. And if you just tuned in for the very first time, consider subscribing. We've got the live earnings for NVIDIA, and it's going to be a big, big night. So you ready? Let's get ready to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Let's get 100 likes in 1 minute. We can do it straight out of the gate in 1 minute because we've got 325 people watching. There you go. Are you ready? Go, 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 go. Over on the Extra channel, tap the like button. Virgin Galactic earnings is just about 45 minutes before we get the numbers here on the main channel. Let me bring it on the screen for you. We're going to go straight to 100. Are you ready? In seconds. Let me see if we can do that. Let me see if we can do that in seconds. We are 341 and we are at 35. Let me refresh it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All we need is 100 and YouTube will suggest it out. Yes, 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 yes. We are straight in at 309. Thank you so much indeed. Excellent. Thank you ever so much for that. Really appreciate it. Good, good work. All right, that gets it out onto YouTube so everyone is aware of what's going on tonight. Let me clear Mr. Mini-Me. All right. Thank you much indeed. Now then, we just got to wait for the information. We've got live CNBC.
It was gone.
There we go. We're bringing in the live TV for you. We got Bloomberg. We got the wires. We got everything so we can react very quickly. Our orders are in place. I've got 10 shares of the S&P. Should we get a surprise to the downside? Doesn't matter. I don't care. I understand what the business is doing. I'm right there. I've already read all the balance sheets. I am good. I am golden. I am good to go. Right. So I think what we'll do, we've got a few minutes. So what I want to do is I want the world to know what's happening live right now. So I'm going to go to my social media and here is our earnings. And I'm going to repost. If you want to see what I'm doing, so you know what I'm doing, quote repost. There you go. This is happening now, live now. Oops, a daisy. Huge night. There you go. Let me post that. Now, if you, we cover all mediums from all political angles because we believe that you need to be absolutely everywhere. So a lot of people don't like Blue Sky because it's Democratic, Democrats favor it, and people don't like X because it's Republican. However, we are in both places. So if you want to share and post this link here, this is Blue Sky. We've just put out the information about NVIDIA. If I refresh the screen, there it is. A huge night. You might want to go and take part in that. Let me just tap the likes. Thank you ever so much, everyone that's sharing and liking to get the word out about NVIDIA tonight. The numbers are about 15 minutes away, so we've still got to wait. All right, now then, we're going to do the same thing on X. Here's my X account. The link's in the chat if you want to go on to X. I'm going to go down here and find the NVIDIA earnings. There it is. So I'm going to quote, and I'm going to do this, and I will reply to all of my members if you comment to my posts. Live, whoops-a-daisy, live now, huge night ahead. There you go. Make it slightly different than the other one. And I shall post that. If you want to engage with me on X, there is the link. The S&P has just turned red slightly as NVIDIA just trends down a little bit. I've got some comments. You may have just commented. If you have, I will comment to you now. Let's have a look. I comment to all my members. Harry and Eugene, thanks for liking the post. Larry Me, thanks for liking. Right on, I love that. I say that a lot. There you go. Thank you, Laramie. I comment and reply to everyone, all my members. Thank you, Mike, for reposting everything. All right, I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. I also have a poll running on X as well. If you want to take part, are you bullish on X? Sorry, I'm bullish on NVIDIA. You might like to do that. All right, so we've got the bell is about to go. We shall ring the bell in a couple of moments. We shall see Wall Street ring it
on the Dow. But overall, analysts are positive with an average price target of $400 a share. You'll see the stock is trading at 306.
All right, Stephen, thanks. A big the results. All right, Mike, just tell us, Riff, what's on your mind?
I mean, market is obviously not in the mood to make any sudden bold moves ahead of not just NVIDIA, but also just to see if this little reversal off the low yesterday was really going to hold. A pretty interesting bounce attempt this morning. It seemed really mechanical. Everything that provided defense in the prior few days during the decline was off, and you had some stuff getting hot, to support the S&P. The thing was, Bitcoin never allowed the overall market to...
Yeah, we'll come back to that in a minute. Bitcoin is a disaster today. There's so much fear now in crypto. I'm sure it will bounce back. People will forget. They won't care about all the hacks and everything else. I certainly won't forget, but people won't. Right, we've got 1 minute to go before the bell. We're about to ring the bell together. Let me bring all the comments on. Heads up. Wall Street wants $38 billion in earnings. Let's see what happens. That is correct. Expect the worst, hope for the best. No, I always expect the best. In fact, that's not true. You're right there. I don't expect the worst, but I don't expect anything. I don't feel entitled to anything. I don't expect anything. I'm always focusing on what we've achieved, not what we might achieve. Yeah, good luck all, indeed. Hey, hi, family. Poor man, rich man, good to see you. Listing win, good luck. 20 seconds to the bell goes. Hoping for a downturn, good luck. I've already bought the downturn. I don't care if it goes down or not. Space fell off a cliff, dump before a pump. Virgin Galactic, the bell's about to go any second now. Let's bring in NVIDIA. The numbers will be in 10 minutes time. No, 20 minutes time. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
I mean, usually, a stock like this big impacts just sort of...
The bell has gone. We're going to see how NVIDIA reacts. Here we go.
Right, and it looks like a little bit less.
My main portfolio is turning green. We are up.
In terms of their position, in terms of
NVIDIA. There's the bell. It's a couple of seconds behind, of course. But there it is.
Just a matter of seconds, really, until NVIDIA.
Keep our eye on NVIDIA. Virgin Galactic went down big and straight back up again. We're covering that on the extra channel.
About the New York Stock Exchange, and for Scolas doing the honors at the NASDAQ.
Okay, we don't need that for a moment. So on the extra channel, we are covering Virgin Galactic's earnings. Okay, on the extra channel. On the main channel, we are covering NVIDIA. So if you're over there on the extra channel, we are covering Virgin Galactic earnings. I'm in extra tonight. Yes, Zach, you are in the extra channel tonight watching Virgin Galactic. It's 59 minutes before the call starts for Virgin Galactic. Stay where you are. Here on the main channel, we are covering NVIDIA. So we're doing 2 earnings at the same time. Okay, Pascal says, God bless. Love it. Best channel by far. Thanks, Martyn. Woody Unfiltered. Thank you so much indeed. What's up? Here we go. Saab is here. I can tell you on the extra channel, Virgin Galactic had a massive drop and then straight back up again. Look at that. It went straight down and back up again. We're at all-time lows right now. The earnings call is just 50 minutes away. We've got 18 minutes before we get the announcement for NVIDIA. So stand by. It's just doing its thing. I've got my orders placed to buy 10 shares of the S&P if it drops to 540. And that is, of course, the price of VU. And we are good. I'm watching 3 earnings tonight. NVIDIA, Space, and Joby. Vaz, good luck. Vaz is covering Archer earnings tomorrow night on the Extra channel. His very first live stream on the network. He's on the Extra channel tomorrow night doing Archer Aviation. Here on the main channel, I'll be doing Soundhound. A lot of interest for that from, of course, our NVIDIA investors. All right. Okay, here we go. We've got 16 minutes to go now. Stand by. Stand by. We've got all the information coming in.
Versus the street expectation of $2.61. Revenue was a slight miss at $9.9 billion. Estimate was for $10.03 billion. So that's perhaps what is contributing to shares of Salesforce moving lower in overtime by 9%. Let's get you some more details on Agentforce. It's AI agents for the company revealing that 5,000 deals, including more than 3,000 paid, have come to fruition. Data cloud surpassing 15 trillion records, which did double year over year, I might add. So we'll get you more details as we comb through these numbers here, and also commentary from CEO Mark Benioff, which I can just bring you right now. We had an incredible quarter and year.
Can everyone tap the like button? We've got 726 watching. Let's get 500 likes, please.
And more than
this will share it out to YouTube. More people will know about NVIDIA. Please tap the like button. It's your money.
Customers through the digital labor revolution with our deeply unified platform. So once again, touting the company's AI products and the leadership that they are playing. Stock is now down 6%. Back to you.
All right, Seema Modi, thank you. Don't miss Jim Cramer's exclusive interview with Salesforce CEO Martyn.
Okay, we've got 15 minutes to go now before we get the earnings numbers from NVIDIA. NVIDIA is just moments away. We're keeping our eye on absolutely everything. I'm looking at all the stocks. Palantir is up 0.4788. Don't touch it. It's a complete waste of time right now. I'm keeping my eye on multiple things. So stand by for all of that.
You're growing like 9% organic.
Salesforce, we don't need to watch that right now. We're keeping our eye. We're just bouncing around the zero. We're bouncing around the flat for the day, waiting for the response. So come on, guys. We've got 784 watching. Let's tap the like button. Let's get a record. Get 1,000 likes tonight would be absolutely fantastic. NVIDIA earnings just moments away. We've got 15 minutes. 42 billion buy-side revenue estimate. NVIDIA Q4 earnings, 42 billion buy-side revenue estimate. We're waiting for the numbers. We're standing by. Deep-seat competitors, concerns, looming U.S. exports, controls, declining gaming GPU prices, and shrinking margins. What's going to happen? All right, okay. Prediction, says Noah. We're not making predictions right now. We've already done that. I am buying. Let's see the market drop. I am buying 10 shares of the S&P at 540. That's the share price of VU. If you're over on the Extra channel, we are covering Virgin Galactic earnings. Virgin Galactic earnings starts in 55 minutes. You are listening into the NVIDIA call on the main channel. The link for the main channel is in the chat. There's also a poll for you running right now as well. So far, we have a beat of 83% on the poll in the main channel. On the Extra channel, so far, we have, what do we have here? We have, is it a buy, hold, or sell? We don't have a poll running. I think we've already ended it. I didn't realize I'd ended the poll. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, right, we're now just down to a few minutes to go. In fact, it's 13 minutes. Now, 13 minutes. We're on standby. We've got live link ups everywhere. We're listing all in. We're going to bring you the news as it comes. Brian Bynum is over on the Extra channel watching Virgin Galactic. Stand by for that. We've got a bit of time to go. We'll get the news on NVIDIA in just a few moments' time. Stand by for Virgin Galactic's numbers as well. All right. Virgin Galactic's price is bouncing all over the place at the moment. I can see that. Up and down like a flipping yo-yo. Let me see if I've got some extra data coming through from anywhere for you. Let me have a quick look. Nothing. I don't see anything there. Let me go over to my extra wires. I've got the terminal open, ready to look here. The S&P is going up, and so is NVIDIA. I've got 10 shares to buy order on earnings preview. That's just out. No, that's yesterday. That's no good yet, so I'll keep my eye on that. Okie dokie. Right. We're watching everything. I'm watching multiple screens at the same time. The S&P is going down, selling quickly. If it goes down to 540, it's bouncing around quickly now. That's why you want your buy orders in, folks. This is why you want buy orders. I've just seen the S&P go up and down like a percent each way. Make sure you got your buy orders for the S&P or the NVIDIA, if that's what you're doing, or Virgin Galactic, that for that matter. It's very, very important. Someone just said there's no sound. There is sound. You've got your system muted. I can't help you if I can't come around your house and turn your speakers up. There is no issue with sound. We've got, I think, nearly 1,000 people watching, 864, and no one has mentioned no sound. Everything is absolutely spot on all channels. We're running 2 at the same time. Okay, NVIDIA is going up. We've now got exactly 11 minutes to go. The S&P is going up. I've got my buy orders. Let me start to answer questions. Now, we do have a very, very busy night. We've got 1,700 members, higher than any other channel percentage-wise. 98% of our live viewers are members that watch a normal show. This is not a normal show, though. So there is the X. There is Instagram. There's my Alpha Spread Seeking Alpha. If you want to become a member, there's the link. And once you get a 1-month badge, once it turns blue with a little 1 and an M, little blue badge, we give you free training on our Discord server. If you're watching on the Extra channel, you can also be a member over there. We've got 50 minutes before Virgin Galactic earnings begin. Tap a like button, guys, and share it out. There's only 17 likes on Virgin Galactic tonight. Let me refresh that. 28. It's gone up a lot. See if we can get 100 likes on the Extra channel. Tomorrow night, Vaz is covering it for you. We are just a handful away from going to 1,000 watching live. Are you ready? So now I want to make sure we've only got 9 minutes before we get the numbers, and I want to answer and bring on everybody's questions. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to members only, so I can answer every member's question. So if you have a question or a comment that you want shared on the screen, please repeat it right now, and it will come on the screen, and I will share it. The sound is crisp. Yes, it is. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. SMCI, gonna go crazy off this. I do believe you are right. I do believe you are right. If it is a beat tonight, which we do expect it to be so. All right, okay. So let me bring all the comments. SMCI, gonna go correct. Caden Youngquist, how are you, Caden? Lovely to have you here. You've got a 6-month badge. Congratulations. Welcome back. Jenny B, loving it. Jenny B, one of our moderators. Thank you, Jenny B. Ed, Leston Win. If you want to comment on the screen, become a member and I'll read out everyone's comments. The phone line is open. 9 minutes to go. We are nearly there. If you want to call in and be live on the call with me, here is the live phone in. Here it is. Let me just write this down. Password. There it is. And live phone. Whoops, daisy. Phone in. You can be live on the show tonight. You can call in and be live on the show. Here is the link. Have your say. It's the first 10 people. Nvidia's going up. The S&P's going up quickly. Here is the link in the chat. There you go. There is the link in the chat. Live phone in. The phone line is open. martynlucas.com/live. martynlucas.com/live. And the password is LucasA's100, uppercase L, uppercase A, 100. You have to be a member to call in. You have to be on camera. You don't require any software. You can just call in now and have your say. We are just a few minutes away now. We've got the live link ups.
See any of that.
We are waiting for NVIDIA's results. We are on standby. Loving it. Greetings. Any updates on Mobix? Not tonight, I'm afraid. Loving it. Hit the like button. Get to the chopper. 1,000 people tuned in live. Let's get 1,000 likes, guys. Let's absolutely blow up tonight on YouTube. Let's get the word. NVIDIA is going out. Over on the extra channel, we are running Virgin Galactic. Everyone tap the like button over there. We're up to 28 likes, 32 likes. It's a much, much smaller show. Can you see now why I put Virgin Galactic on the extra channel tonight? I had to do that because NVIDIA is getting the bigger audience at the moment. Vaz says, what a night tonight. I'm loving it. Lestin wins. Smash it. Good luck, everyone. Seconds to go. I've got my buy order ready to go. I'm ready to buy 10 shares of the S&P. If it drops to 540, that's the price of VU on the S&P 500. I'm up. I'm green. So we're getting ready. Just a few more moments to go. This is very exciting. The earnings call for NVIDIA and Virgin Galactic will start in 45 minutes. On the extra channel, stand by. I will cover your earnings for you. Once we start the earnings call on Virgin Galactic, on the extra channel, I will mute myself here on the main channel, and you will hear Michael Cole-Glazier and the team. You won't hear me chirping along in the background. Of course, that would be pretty wild, right? You don't want that. Thanks for covering the earnings tonight. Cameron Griffin, you are welcome. It was requested by one of our members. It's trying, looking for a panic clip buy opportunity if rug pulls. Why is NVIDIA going up? It's expected on good earnings. Yes, it is. Martyn, can we get a 2020 0 tonight? Can we get a 22-0 tonight? Danny, I've no idea what that means. Can we get a 22-0 tonight? Oh, I see. Yes, I've traded 21 times, 21 wins. I won't be trading the S&P, though. I'll be simply buying it. Temika has called in. Temika, welcome. Lovely to have Temika call in. Oh, I've just lost you. You lost your signal. Try again. You've got just 5 minutes to go. Temika, please call back. Temika is one of our members. She wanted to ask me a question. Guest number one. Let me see if she's now made it on. Temika, welcome. You're live on the show.
Hi.
How are you? Turn off your YouTube and listen to me just through this. Just mute yourself on YouTube and listen just through the call. Temika, where are you calling in from?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama. It's lovely to have you on the show. I'm so proud when ladies call in. We have 13.8%, one of the highest ratios of channels for ladies. So thank you so much for calling in.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Let me just turn off the alerts.
I love you. Your show is amazing. So I've been learning a whole lot just by watching.
Thank you. Tamika, we've only got 4 minutes before the call, so before the announcement comes. So I might just have to mute you if the numbers come in. How can I help you? You've got 2 minutes with me right now.
Okay, I need to. Okay, I've bought Nivea. I've bought SMCI, and I have Dogecoin, and I have XRP. So how do you double the money, or did you just hold it and let it sit there? I'm so confused on it. Like, do I have to go through options to do that? I don't know. I'm confused. I need help.
Okay, well, this is obviously a big conversation because you're obviously new to trading, new to investing. We're not going to be able to cover all that right now. So what I would like to do is you can stay on the phone with me. We've got lots of people that are going to tune in a moment because we've got plenty of time before the call. The actual call is in 45 minutes. Once they give us the figures, it will go crazy for a few minutes. Then I'll come back to you and we'll have a conversation and we'll invite others to call in. So you'll have my undivided attention for about half an hour. Is that okay?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Perfect. If you want to stay on the line, that's fine. I will mute you now, put YouTube back on again, listen in, and then once we get the numbers, we'll come back to you, bring other people in, and we'll have a conversation, and I'll do my best to help you. Lovely to have you here.
Perfect.
Alabama. I love it. I love it. Great stuff. There you go. Tamika, we'll help her in a moment. We just need to go back to this just for a moment. Okay, so let me just mute our guest just for a moment, and we'll come back to Tamika in a moment. So we got 2 minutes to go. Isn't that wonderful? Got an investor calling in from Alabama. I'm absolutely love it. Love it. Great. We want to help people as much as we possibly can. Right. We have got exactly 2 minutes to go. I'm from Munford, says Jonathan. Hi there, everyone. Lots of older folks don't know. It's true. It had a double bottom. Look at all the Alabamians. We got Vanessa. Vanessa, you want to call in a minute as well and be live on the show. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. LOL, Goat, said Leston Win. Thank you. Right, here we go. Seconds to go. Are you excited? You should be excited. I'm excited. We're waiting for the numbers. We're going to be live. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Everyone tap the like button. 1,200 people watching. The number one stream tonight for NVIDIA. Tap the like button. Everyone gets a voice. The best service. Make sure that you've clicked the cogs and you're watching on a big screen on a big screen in 4K. You can set to 4K and get the best quality video and audio. You can be on the show. You can call in. You can take part. Ask any questions. Are you ready to rumble? Okay. 1 minute to go. Stand by. We're on commercial break. We're watching all the streams. We're watching absolutely everywhere. NVIDIA stock. Will NVIDIA stock break out? What's it going to do? Any second now, we shall know. I've got more people. Renee just calling in as well. Renee, I'll bring you onto the show after the numbers are out. We can bring 10 people onto the show at once. Renee, you can be on our show as well. Another lady. We've got 13.8% ladies now, the highest of any crypto channel. We're not actually a crypto channel, but we do a lot of XRP. I'm very proud of that. It's absolutely wonderful to have so many ladies wanting to watch the show. Right, here we go. We're standing by. Stand by. NVIDIA, what's it going to do? On the extra channel, we're covering Virgin Galactic. Are you ready? It's a big, big night. We're waiting. We're on standby. I keep going in and out of the commercial break. The numbers. The numbers. Are you ready? I'm ready. It's huge. Let's keep away from the copyrighted audio. Come on then. Come on. We don't need Jim Cramer. He talks a lot of nonsense.
That I've ever found because
I'm just coming in and out of the numbers. NVIDIA.
Join the club today. Go to CNBC.com.
Any second now. About maybe 30 seconds.
Welcome back to Overtime.
Here we go.
Moments away from NVIDIA earnings. Let's bring back
Here we
our
go.
panel, Paul Hickey of Bespoke Investment Group, High Tower Chief Investment Strategist.
Seconds to go. Watch the stock. Watch the S&P.
More insights and strategy.
I'm ready to buy 10 shares at 540.
Mike, NVIDIA, such a unique story.
Tap the like button, folks. It's going down. It's not out yet. The S&P is going down. It's at 545. I'm ready to buy at 540.
$3 trillion.
It's going to bounce around just before it breaks.
Questions about what could stop the strength of something moving that fast that's that big?
Be careful.
Well,
don't buy. Don't sell. Wait.
So for 9 of the last 12 months, the stock hasn't made a whole lot of net progress. have, I think, a lot of
tap the like button, share this out. It's about to go crazy one way or another.
Not just that it's growing so
the S&P is going down. It's selling off.
Industry, but what do you
Nvidia's going up.
Is it going to last?
I just want to mention
50% growth on a $100 billion revenue company. It's rare if it's been precedented at all.
The results have crossed, and we are taking a look at them. We'll get them to you as quickly as we can. It dipped quickly into the red, and now it's a little bit in the green. It's going to be a while, so got to hang in there for more. Can't react too much off of just the tape. Paul,
no, we want to get it right.
What are you most curious about in this report? Of course, margin. Hold on, we're ready with the numbers. Christina Partsinevelos has them. Christina.
I'll just start with the top and bottom line. We're seeing 89 cents adjusted for earnings per share. That is 5 cents higher than what the street anticipated, up 82% from a year ago. So it is decelerating, but still higher. On revenues of $39.3 billion, that is anticipated. And I'm also seeing data center revenue coming in at $35.6 billion. The street was anticipating 33, so also a slight beat. We'll get back to you with the guidance. All right.
Okay, a beat.
Thank you. Still
now we're waiting for the drop to buy the S&P. I'm happy.
Reaction to this with a beat on the top and bottom lines, and it looks like data center revenue a beat as well, and the stock spiking about 3.5% right now.
Well, revenue beat, that was good. I think there was expectation that revenue was going to be
okay. Down it goes.
Positive, but data center, I think.
I'm waiting for my S&P.
You have the street that was looking for 34.1 billion. That would be up 11% sequentially, and then the number was better than expected at 35.6. So
I'm happy.
Sequentially, that should be good enough. But I think at the end of the day, we just have to hear the conference call. I think this is the most anticipated conference call
I agree.
Of the season, of the earnings season, because we want to hear more details about DeepSeek.
We've got Jensen Wong live on the show at the end of the call as well.
And of course,
we're covering that.
I want to hear what they have to say about the data center build out.
Virgin Galactic on the extra channel standby.
The big names where all the CapEx is going.
Virgin Galactic has beaten on earnings.
For the call, unfortunately, but the numbers look good to me.
Yeah, and even beyond the call,
Virgin Galactic has beaten on earnings. Good night for Virgin Galactic. A good beat.
For even more detail.
Okay, the S&P's going up. I didn't get a buy.
No big surprises. Beats pretty much across the.
Okay, I don't need any more information from them. I'm very, very happy with everything tonight. So now we can start to understand what we're going to do. It's a good night. Earnings are posted. Yes, it's a beat. It's a good beat. It's all about guidance. It's all about what Jensen says. I'm loving the show tonight. Vaz, I'm loving it. We need Jensen to pump it up. Yes, we do. Jensen will be live on the show. We have a live interview with Jensen Wong at the end of tonight's earnings call. It's going to bring you a live interview with Jensen Wong. I'm very excited about that. The S&P is going up. I didn't get a chance to buy a dip. Doesn't matter. I've already bought the dip the last few days. It was really not necessary. But look at Nvidia go now. It's looking good. It's all to do with Jensen and the call itself. So this has been a great night. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's make sure. Are we in members only mode now? Let me make sure. Yes, we are. I'm going to open it up to everyone so everyone can have a voice right now on the show just for a few moments. There we go. So what we're going to do now is open up the phone line. The phone line is open. Let me give you the link. It's martynlucas.com/live. Password is LucasAge100, uppercase L, uppercase A, 100. There is the call. We're going to wait now. We've got half an hour before the call starts. This is a great night. I'm not going to get any more of the S&P. These are the spots. We have 10 spots available. When they are gone, they are gone. It's the first 10 people to call in. You can be on these spots. So Tamika, you called in a few moments ago from Alabama. You need to call back if you want to be live on the show. Renate, you're in the green room. You need to turn your camera on and call back. You are still online, but you need to just acknowledge that you are here and cut and turn your camera on. The first 10 spots, martynlucas.com/live. The password is LucasAids, uppercase L, uppercase A, 100. We're going to have an NVIDIA debate and also help people on the call as well. So our first call in is Renate. There she is. I'm loving the fact we get so many ladies on our show. This is absolutely wonderful. Renate is there. We've got 9 more spots available. Good evening, Renate. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. Just stand by. We're going to help and support you any way we can. I love the fact we have so many ladies. It's really, really important. Welcome to the show. We're going to keep an eye on, stay right where you are. I'm going to bring you into the conversation now. And we're watching NVIDIA go up. We're watching the S&P go up. I didn't need to get any more shares. That's absolutely great. So we're happy with that. So let me go back to our live call tonight. You can call in martynlucas.com/live, password LucasAids 100, uppercase L, uppercase A. Very exciting. Renate, where are you calling in from?
I'm from Germany.
Germany. Ich kann nicht sprechen Deutsch sehr gut. Mein Name is Martyn Lucas from England. Welcome to the show. Lovely to have you here. Wonderful to have you here. What part of Germany are you from?
I'm near Frankfurt.
Near Frankfurt. I've been to Bremen, Bonn, Berlin, all over the Black Forest as well, west of Germany. It's lovely to have you here. How can I help you? What would you like to ask today?
Actually, at this moment, I don't have any questions yet, other than I'm actually here in the call for the first time. So I found you by chance. So
wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm just
being part of the event. Lovely.
Sorry.
Being part of the event tonight. I love it.
Yes. The first time that I'm taking part in the NVIDIA earnings call, and I think it's going to be an exciting session tonight.
It certainly will. Lovely to have you here from Germany. Please stay on the line. There are 9 spots left. I'm sure we'll fill them all up in a moment, and we can all have a debate and discuss things, ask each questions. We're here to help people, and it's wonderful to have you here. Really, really is, Renate. Thank you so much for calling in. Stay on the line. And I'll be right back with you. I'll be in and out all the time. Isn't that wonderful? From Germany. Okay, great stuff. If you want to call in, you can also be live on the call tonight. Have your say, ask questions. All right, now then, we are 30 minutes away from the call. This is the event. I'm just going to bring it up now. This is the event from NVIDIA. This is what we're going to share. They don't share the information until 15 minutes before the call, so we're waiting for that. If you're over on the extra channel, let me bring up for you the Virgin Galactic. There it is, the same thing for you. There is no information yet until 15 minutes before the call, so we're standing by on Virgin Galactic on the extra channel because we're running 2 earnings at the same time, believe it or not, tonight. Pretty crazy, I know. Let me bring up the tickers at the same time as well. NVIDIA, it was a good beat tonight. We're very, very happy. We're now going back to a more grown-up, responsible stock. We're now focusing more on fundamentals, and that's what we want. We don't want massive overbuying and overselling and all the rest of it. We want to move to a more grown-up stock, if you like. On the extra channel, stand by for Virgin Galactic. That's coming up in half an hour as well. Now, if you'd like to call in, it's martynlucas.com/live. You can be live on the show. Renate is in. Tamika, you need to call back. And any one of our members, we'd love you to be in on the call tonight during the call, because then you can react to it. So as we're listening to Jensen Wong and the team, you can then thumbs up, down like, you can react with expressions and comments, which would be wonderful to have you all doing that during the show. And then you can also discuss. See, Renate's there. She's got her spot, and you can all take a spot up tonight. There are 9 spots available, and we'd love you to call in. So who's going to take up the other spots? That would be absolutely fan-flipping-tastic. All right, now then, we're just on standby at the moment, waiting for the call to begin. This is what we wanted, so I am very happy with the call tonight and the response, what we've got. So I am happy. As an investor, I am very, very happy with tonight's numbers, and for me, it's all systems go. The economy is strong. The numbers are good. We've got the tariff concerns, which is just throwing a spanner in the works. But all of that will go away in time. And the war, of course, will end in Ukraine in the next few weeks, hopefully. Let me show you how this looks, by the way, the beat. Let me share with you the actual progress of NVIDIA. Consistently beating, beating. It's a good growth. This is good, slowing down overall, but still doing well. 84 cents was estimated, and we got an 89. This is really great. It's never enough, though, for NVIDIA, but let me make a prediction of what's going to happen. It will rally during the call or tomorrow. People are waiting and playing the long game on this one, I think. Probably rally tomorrow. It's a good, solid business. It's done well again. It's made more money. And we've already had a trim off. It should be at 150 by now. So the fact it's at 131, its forward PE is still good. In fact, it just tonight got better. Let me share with you what I mean. NVDA. Stand by if you're watching on the extra channel. The Virgin Galactic earnings is just 27 minutes to go. So let me show you NVIDIA. NVIDIA's forward PE right now. This is not bad at all. I think you'll agree. If I show you the forward PE for NVIDIA, it's now 42 times earnings. Now, for a high growth stock, we can live with that. 42's fine. Look what happened to Palantir. Flipping heck. It was 800 times earnings at one point. We've had Tesla, similar numbers. 42 times earnings, solid business. This is a good level. We've got a strong buy from Wall Street. We've got a hold from unemotional AI software quant. Valuation is saying F. That will change after tonight's earnings. Growth is A+. Profitability is A+. Momentum is B. Revisions up from B to B+. This is a good time to get NVIDIA for the long game. I've always said NVIDIA is an owning stock. You should own it, not trade it. Remember, if you buy it on your brokerage account, you're paying tax every time you trade, 20%, most people, and then you're trying to find the new entry point. I just buy the S&P, and I'm continually buying the S&P, and I've got an order tonight to buy another 10 at which will give me over $300,000 in the S&P, $350,000. Remember, I only started with $5,000 just a few years ago, so I'm very happy with my positions. Right, let's look at the S&P. I'm up. It's green. NVIDIA is just bouncing around, waiting for the call to begin. Now, we've got 26 minutes to go. When we get down to 15 minutes, the call will go live. I'll have the display to show you whether we get charts or whether it's just Jensen and his team talking, but we shall find out very shortly. Over on the extra channel, we are running Virgin Galactic. Welcome to all of you. Please do tap the like button. Once the calls begin, I will mute myself and you will listen to what's going on with Michael Cole-Glazier, the CEO of Virgin Galactic. All right. Now then, just to give everyone the links, there's the X account if you want to follow me on X. And I will engage with all of you that ask me questions. Instagram, there's our music channel. For those who don't know, I'm the World Piano Man every Friday at 4 p.m. Central. I do a live concert. There is the link for the music channel. I've just dropped it into the chat. I've just realized, is that not showing? It's showing on the extra channel, but not showing on the... not showing on the main channel. I don't know why that is. Live phone in. I don't know why that is. Oh, well, never mind. Doesn't matter. It is what it is. Anyway. I'm just got to relax now. Got a few minutes to go. Space is pumping. Let's have a look. Virgin Galactic on the extra channel. I wouldn't say it's pumping. It's up 4.54% in the after hours. That's nice. However, let's remember the stock is at an all-time low. So really, the stock is down like 99%. So let's not get carried away. People get excited when it goes up 4%. It's down 99%. Let's just remind ourselves of that. We have got a beat tonight, though, on Virgin Galactic. This is good. Not quite as strong. In fact, it is stronger than last time. This is good. Consistently beating and improving each time. What we need to learn from Virgin Galactic tonight is Delta is online and we're opening up ticket sales and everything is good. All right. Now then, for some reason, we haven't got Anyone else that wants to call in tonight? Everybody wants to be quiet in the background. So you know what? I'm just going to have a little private conversation with Renata right now. It's just me and you tonight, Renata. You're the only one who called in tonight. I would expect more to call in as we get to the call, but sometimes people get a bit shy and don't want to call in. So, Renata, what is your investment strategy? What do you own? Oh, hang on. I take that back.
There you go.
There you go. Saab has called in. Can you believe it? Let me clear my tickers. Now we have guests calling in. So, Renata, I'm going to put you in guest spot number 8 right now. Welcome, Saab. Renata, what is your main investment strategy? What are you looking at tonight?
All right, so main investment strategy is like...
Oh, sorry, Saab. Sorry, I was addressing that to Renata. I do apologize. No, please do come back. Renata, what is your strategy? What are you looking to invest in?
Well, basically, I'm invested in NVIDIA, and as you said, I'm basically in for the long game, and I'm hoping that, like you said, you started off with 5,000, and I also started off with a smallish number, so that's increased obviously drastically over the last 2 years. So I'm actually looking to increase that even further.
Absolutely. But the golden rule, I always say it on the show, you've got to have the engine. You've got to earn money and you invest your money. You don't use the stock market as a cash machine. I am my engine. I earn money. I have no bills. I've made sure I'm efficient. I paid the mortgage off, the car loan. I have no debts. And now I invest. I did it that way round, built the foundation. And I earn money. My job is YouTube, and I invest. So I don't try to use the stock market as a cash machine, but I do. I'm the cash machine. I earn money and I invest it, and I'm glad that you're doing well. Also, it's very exciting evening. Saab, what's just for the benefit of those that haven't seen you before? What's your strategy, and are you happy with NVIDIA tonight?
It's fantastic what's happening with NVIDIA. Like, NVIDIA kind of got forgot. No, I'm not saying forgot, but got kind of pushed to the back a little bit there for a little while. But it looks like
Oh, I lost you for a moment there, Saab. Carry on.
But it looks like Jensen went to work. Instead of complaining and whining about stuff, he went to work and says, okay, let's just show everybody how we do this. And he just went back to work, and now he's going to pull back he's going to pull them back up by the scruff of the neck like he did before.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. Oh, we got another guest just called in. This is Faraz Ahmed. If you could just line up your camera just a little bit, that would help us. There we go. That's
good.
That's wonderful. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from Pakistan.
Pakistan. Absolutely wonderful.
Yes,
I love this. We have members in 69 countries now in 14 languages. Are you an investor of NVIDIA?
No, I'm an investor of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. How do you feel about Bitcoin tonight?
I feel really good about it. The reports are good, so I believe it's good for Bitcoin as well.
Okay. But how do you feel about Bitcoin being down so much and on all the recent hacks? Does that concern you at all?
No problem. We are like long-term holders,
Okay. I'm glad you've got confidence. Alex has just called in. Alex, good evening to you. How are you?
Good evening, Martin. Good evening, everyone. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm great. I'll come back to you. Let me just show the price of NVIDIA on the chart. This is looking great tonight. I'm loving it. Absolutely awesome stuff. We're showing NVIDIA on the chart. It's beaten on earnings. It's looking good. The S&P is going up. I set myself a buy of 10 shares if we got a flash crash. We still can if Jensen says something strange and weird, but I don't think so. It's got away from me now, but that's why I've been buying it the last few days. I went all in 3 days ago and bought a lot more of the S&P because I knew we'd get a beat tonight. I'm very happy. It's not a blow-off beat tonight, but it is a good a good beat nevertheless. I like this. So, sorry, Saab, you got cut off. You're happy with the result tonight for NVIDIA?
Fantastic. I mean, NVIDIA's been leading the way for a long time, and it's about time he started bringing people back up by the scruff of the neck and start leading the way again like he did before.
Yeah, absolutely right. You never guess who's just tuned in. Here he is, Mr. Virgin Galactic, Zach Zate, live on the show. Hey! Originally from Israel, now in California. Lovely to have you here, Zach Zate. The extra channel is covering Virgin Galactic. You'll see the full presentation from Virgin Galactic in just 18 minutes from now. In the next 5 minutes, I'll be able to put the presentation on the screen. Hey, another beat tonight. Another beat with Virgin Galactic. Great stuff. You must be happy. Let's get some good news. Let's hear from Michael Cole-Glazier about opening ticket sales. There's no delays. Everything's going full steam ahead, and we could have a great night for Virgin Galactic. How do you feel about that tonight, mate?
It does feel great. The company shows us this morning the video, the progress, the 10 steps, and it seems like they're going to talk about Italy. They talk about the difference between having a tourism customers and having science customers, people that want to go. And it seems like of the science coming first, hopefully also on the test flight of the Delta. I wouldn't go on the Delta as a tourist for a test flight. So if they take a scientist and make more money over the use, if it's NASA or the finding their test, that is very, very good news. So talking about Italy, talking about the tourism versus science, I think will be the main topics tonight.
Great. I hope you are right, and I look forward to listening. Because believe you me, as crazy as it might seem, I am going to listen to two earnings calls at the same time. I think for a moment we had the Church of Logic in the chat. One of our original members from 4 years ago. Is the Church of Logic in the chat? I don't know. I thought I saw his name come up. Let's hope so. We just passed 70,000 subscribers last night, by the way. Big milestone. Very excited about that. And
congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, mate. Just in time for my birthday. Very excited about that. So we've got 15 minutes now. I should be able to share the... look at this. Look at this. Zoom, 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 zoom. 70,224. Zipping up now. Next target.
Let's go.
Hey!
Let's go. Subscribe, like, be part of the best family.
Yes, indeed. All around the world in 69 countries, 14 languages. We're taking over the world. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Okay. Good stuff. And I'm also loving, by the way, my beautiful mug. If you've not got one of these, martynlucasshop.com, you can get yourself saying, Saab's going, see, he's always trying to sell his mugs. Yeah, I am. I'm always trying.
You're a mug peddler.
Yeah, I'm a mug peddler. I've got to buy more of the SNP. I need to sell about 1 million of these, and then we'll be good to go. Right? Hang on. There's my name. There's the logo. There we go. I love it.
It's good. Hey, got a good few buys in there for like 40, 50 shares of the S&P.
Yeah, 50 now. 50 in the last 3 days.
Great move.
Yeah,
great move.
I think so. Tonight would have been another 5, but it didn't go low enough. There's no point just paying the same price. You've got to have management. You've got to have risk management. Until I earn more money, you can't just keep buying and buying and buying, because then you'll end up well, we know what comes next. All right, so we don't want to be doing that. Right. So we got
Martyn. Do you remember what was? Excuse me. Do you remember what was the lowest cost you bought VU last year? What was the lowest price? Was it 485?
Yes, about 485, something like that. Yeah.
Very good.
I know.
Very nice.
Maybe 50% of my VU is around that price. So even though this is why people get confused when they talk about you know, your average goes up. They go, your average is much higher. Doesn't matter about what I bought now. What matters is what I've got overall, the value of what I've got invested. And that's why, another reason why I don't sell those stocks. Those stocks are now starting to compound, earning me, I know it's only $1.85 every quarter, but they all earn, now there's nearly 550 shares. So that adds up. We should be very close to $1,000 a quarter now. My goal is $1,000 a month. And that's just to cover the margin in cost. That's the idea, is to get that to level out. So as I earn more money, I keep bringing it back down to the same percentage. So eventually it'll just cover itself. Anyway, we should be able to refresh the screen now. Here we go. So this is the NVIDIA broadcast. It looks like they're just going to show us some audio. Let me now go over to Virgin Galactic. I know Zach's able to see that. So Virgin Galactic.
Just say I got a big smoothies ready for Virgin Galactic earning. I got.
There you go. So we've got here comes. They're loading the event on the screen. They're loading the event. I've never seen anyone load the event. I'm literally clicked on it at the moment they're loading it. So let me refresh the screen. Oh, there we go. Loading scenes. There you go. There's the Virgin Galactic slideshow for you. So we're all good there. We're all good for NVIDIA. This is pretty exciting stuff. Let me bring you back on here. We've got more guests calling in. We've got another guest. This is Simon. I need to see you on camera, Simon. Come up close a little bit so I can bring you on the show. I need to see you on camera. There's Simon. There he is. How are you, Simon?
Good evening.
Where are you calling in from?
Let me just turn that down. So I'm calling from the UK in Kent.
I recognise the all right, my cocker. You're right there, mate. I recognise the accent there.
All right there, geezer. How you doing?
Geezer. One of the lads, one of the boys. I'm at home. I'm back down the old Kent Road with one of my mates. I'm loving it. How are you, mate? Good to see you, Simon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you. Really, really good, thank you.
Spot on. What are you investing in, mate? What are you buying?
I'm very bullish in Mobix.
Oh.
So I've got.
Have you been following Mobix with me?
10K in Mobix.
Did you see the earnings call with Mobix the other day with me?
I did.
Did you see the CEO call in live on the show?
I did. It was me that put in for the earnings call.
Oh, it was you who got me to bit.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. That was great. Yeah, we've got a good relationship now with Fabrizio, the CEO. So I've got his number on my phone. We want to call him up now? I can call him up if you want. We'll have him on the show. Great stuff. All right. Guys, stand by. If anybody else wants to call in, it's martynlucas.com/live. The password is LucasAids, uppercase L, uppercase A. It's in the chat. I'll give it to you again. 100. Here it is. And you can be live on the show. All the spots are nearly gone. NVIDIA's going up. I'm loving it. Over on the extra channel, we got Virgin Galactic about to start. There it is in the chat. Can everyone tap the like button? There's 1,045 people watching all around the world, and this is awesome stuff. Click subscribe and ring the bell. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by the summer, and you're all invited to a members-only event on March the 10th. March the 10th is the day after my birthday. My birthday is March the 9th, but it's unfortunately a Sunday. So on Monday, March the 10th, it's going to be a members-only stream. Out comes the whiskey with the burgers because I'm getting too old to just do the whiskey. Yeah, you can clap. You've seen it before. Yeah. I'm too old for all that now. There has to be whiskey and burgers. There has to be food to accompany it. Otherwise, I get ill and it's just... You just watch me literally get sick on the telly. All right, that's not what it's about, is it? What sort of weird show is that? Oh dear. Anyway,
Martyn.
Right, here we go, Martyn. Look.
What, mate? There you go. That's it. We're twins. It's me and you.
Twins,
mate.
Twins.
Yeah, we even sound the same. Look at that. Brilliant, mate. You know what? Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? This bold head? It's a solar panel for a love machine. That's what it is, mate. I got told that. Someone told me that once. Anyway, we're having a great night. The S&P 500. Oops, sorry. Zach was going to say something. What were you going to say there, Zach?
So there is no loud when it's a cloudy weather?
No, don't worry. Don't worry. I only need ambient lighting. I'm a modern, sophisticated solar panel. It doesn't matter if it's cloudy. It works with ambient lighting, including stage lighting. Renata's thinking, I don't know what's going on here. I phoned him from Germany and he's talking about a solar panel for a love machine. What sort of channel is this? This is not how we speak in Germany. This is not what we say in Germany. Right, okay. We're keeping our eye. We've got 9 minutes to go. Stand by, folks. Stay on the line with me during the call. It's going to be very exciting. Let's see if we can get all 10 spots taken up tonight. If you want to call in, be on the show, you can be on the show with me. This is the earnings call. Let me check the audio. This is NVIDIA, Virgin Galactic on the extra channel. Stand by. Right, there's the audio. That's the audio. That's working. We've got transmission. Let me go and check Virgin Galactic's audio. Let me check. Stand by. Yeah, that's working as well. Yeah, that's working. We've got audio tested. We're looking good. So over on the extra channel, stand by for Virgin Galactic. You must be excited tonight. Zach say, I'm really pleased for you, mate. Sorry we can't put it on the main channel. Back in the day, we would have had a big audience, but tonight it's sadly on the extra channel. Sorry about that, mate.
My plan is August 26. We got another almost year and a half to get to the date I put in beginning, August 26. So it is about 6 more earnings.
6 more to go. All right. NVIDIA is going up. The S&P is going up. I didn't need to buy any more. That's good. Now I can just focus paying down the margin again. I wasn't worried though. I was quite happy to do that. It's going up. Hey, the S&P is moving quite quickly now. Lovely stuff. Okay, let's keep our eye on it. We've got 7 minutes to go. 7 minutes to go. So what we're going to do, we've got 7 minutes. So let's make sure everyone has tapped the like button. Everyone done that? Oh, we got Manu. We got Manu live on the show. He's smiling, going, yeah, that's me. That's me. Bring me on the show. There's Manu. Good evening, Manu. Where you calling in from?
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Canada.
Canada. We got Canada, Germany, England, America, all over the place. How are you? You driving your car? You drive safe there, mate.
Yeah, no worries. So I'm from Canada, not from the 51st state, but loving your show, man.
Hey, listen, mate, it's nothing to do with me. Just because Donald Trump's the president of the country I'm living in, I'm just impartial. I'm not taking over Canada, mate. You're your own country, and God love you for it.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Martyn, what's happening with NVIDIA? Always it beats the earnings and the stock barely moves. What do you think?
Because now it's starting to trade on fundamentals. I now feel the stock is now maturing. It got overbought. It got ridiculous ahead of itself. See, Saab's nodding, going, yeah, we've now got a business that will start to grow into its price. We don't want to see it rally up crazy and then dump back down again. We want to see it grow into its price. It's now becoming more mature. It's basing more on fundamentals than momentum. And that's a good thing. That's what we want. Like I've always said, don't trade NVIDIA, own it. Own it. That's really important. Now, guys, if you can, try to mute yourself when you're not talking. It just keeps the background noise down as we have so many people now calling in. We've got Jad just called in. Jad, good morning to you. How are you? Where are you calling in from?
Good evening here. I'm calling you from Morocco.
Morocco, I'm loving it. Now we got a member from Morocco calling in. I'm bloody loving it. Oh, fantastic! Look at the stock. Look at the prices go up. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. The S&P is going up, and so is Nvidia. It's going to be a good night. I'm just saying. I did say this was going to happen. I'm just saying. I did say it. So, Jad, what are you investing in, mate? We've got 4 minutes to go. What are you looking at?
So I am the early investor in Nvidia, but I sold off everything. I start investing on Palantir.
Palantir.
And, so I have like 60% Palantir.
Okay.
I hope it's gonna go up after.
When did you buy Palantir? What price did you pay for Palantir?
I think when it was like around 70.
What price?
76.
76.
76.
Be careful.
And I keep buying when it's there. Yeah.
Be careful. Its intrinsic value is $9. It's 800 times over earnings. I'm sure you know that. Alex Cart was join the Palantirians. Not really a good thing to do. You know, getting retail investors to buy too much. It's a bit overvalued, and that's why it dumped. But a great business. I think it's going to do very well in America, but it's very expensive. Guys, we've got 3 minutes to go. Stand by, everybody. Okay, here we are. We're just moments away now. Nvidia is shooting up on this call. So is the S&P 500. So I am very happy. I didn't get another 10, but that doesn't matter at all. So now we are focusing on the earnings. So allow me just to make sure everything works properly, because I'm actually covering 2 earnings calls at the same time on 2 different channels. So here on the main channel, we are waiting for Nvidia. Let me just mute everyone there for a second. This is the Nvidia call. And they're playing music, so that's good. Expect it to be 1 or 2 minutes late. Over on the extra channel, we are covering Virgin Galactic. This is Virgin Galactic here. Guys, when the call starts, I will mute myself so you'll hear Virgin Galactic, of course, unedited without me talking over it. Okay, obviously, so stand by. Everyone there, please tap the like button and click share. Straight after this, we have another event. I have Jensen Huang live on the show, a live interview with, excuse me, Jensen Huang, live interview at the end of the show. Very exciting, this one. We're going to bring you a live interview directly after the earnings call of Jensen Huang. This live stream will take you directly there. Okay, now stand by, guys. It's 2 minutes to go. Allow me just to focus on the production right now, because I've got to make sure both earnings calls go live at the same time. So I'm going to make sure there's actually 20 screens in this studio. If you've ever seen the whole of my studio, look, I'll just give you a little walk around. Look, there's actually 20 screens in here. A lot of them you can't see. There's moving heads, there's moving cameras all over the place. Most of our monitors are off the camera, so you can't see them. But I'm monitoring all of this at the same time as trying to entertain you. But we're running 2 shows at the same time tonight. Okay, so Nvidia is pumping. We are loving it, loving it, loving it. The S&P is pumping as well. Virgin Galactic is also going up $4 at the moment. Right, we're standing by. 1 minute to go. I'm listening into the earnings calls. The moment one earnings call stops, I will mute the other one on Virgin Galactic. Okay. That's not helpful. They're both playing the same background music. So I can't distinguish between the two. One minute to go. Expect 1 or 2 minutes late. That's perfectly normal. Nvidia is looking great. Let me just flash everybody on the screen. Give me a big thumbs up and a big wave if you're loving it, loving it, loving it. All right. Yes, Nvidia. Yes, everyone's smiling. A few of my guests disappeared. Where did you go to? See, I told you. Stay online. You never know when I'm going to pop back and say hello. Right. Here we go. We're listening in. Nvidia. They're playing very quiet music here. Let me refresh the screen. Wow, that's quiet. Okay. Virgin Galactic are still playing background music. So is NVIDIA. We're now into the time. Any moment now, the call will start. On extra channel standby for NVIDIA. Virgin Galactic here on the main channel. We're covering NVIDIA. Please stand by for the call to begin.
NVIDIA's fourth quarter earnings call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. I will be your conference operator today. At this time, I would like to welcome everyone to Virgin Galactic's fourth quarter and full year 2024 earnings conference call. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question and answer session. If you would like to ask a question during this time, simply press star, followed by the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, press the pound key. Thank you. I will now turn the call over to Eric Cerny, Vice President of Investor Relations. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Virgin Galactic's fourth quarter and full year 2024 earnings conference call. On the call with me today are Michael Colglazier, Chief Executive Officer, Mike Moses, President of our space line, and Doug Ahrens, Chief Financial Officer. Following our prepared remarks, we will open the call for questions. Our press release and slide presentation that will accompany today's remarks are available on our investor relations website. Please see slide 2 of the presentation for our safe harbor disclaimer. During today's call, we may make certain forward-looking statements. These statements are based on current expectations and assumptions and, as a result, are subject to risks and uncertainties. Many factors could cause actual events to differ materially from the forward-looking statements made on this call. For more information about these risks and uncertainties, please refer to the risk factors in the company's SEC filings made from time to time. You are cautioned not to put undue reliance on forward-looking statements, and the company specifically disclaims any obligation to update the forward-looking statements that may be discussed during this call today, whether as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise. Please also note that we will refer to certain non-GAAP financial information on today's call. Please refer to our earnings release for a reconciliation of those non-GAAP financial metrics. Turning to our agenda for today's call on page 3, Michael will open the call with a recap of 2024, followed by an in-depth update on the progress of our spaceship program. Mike Moses will join the call, followed by Doug Ahrens, who will provide a financial overview before we turn the call over to Q&A. With that, I would now like to turn the call over to Michael. Michael, go ahead.
Thanks, Eric. 2024 marked an inflection point for Virgin Galactic. We opened the year with our prototype spaceship, demonstrating the amazing customer experience delivered by Virgin Galactic space flights. And we closed 2024 by wrapping up the multi-year design phase of our groundbreaking new spaceships. 2025 will be a year of momentum, as we are now building the spaceships that will dramatically expand human spaceflight with unprecedented levels of safety, rapid reusability, and cost efficiency. Fabrication of tools and parts for these ships is well underway, as you'll see in a moment. And our teams are excited to kick off assembly of our first spaceship next month at our spaceship factory in Phoenix. The production and launch timeline for the new ships remains on track, with our first commercial research space flight expected in the summer of 2026, and the first private astronaut space flight in the fall of 2026. We are able to be more specific with projecting our timelines because we now have line of sight to the delivery dates of each and every tool and part that supports assembly. With this work accelerating, we will spend time on today's call showcasing the advances already made, as well as the milestones that will mark our progress going forward. One of the things that I am most excited about has been the transition of Virgin Galactic from an R&D focused company to a company that builds real assets that drive real value. I would like to highlight 5 of these key assets that differentiate our company. Turning to slide 4. First is our new spaceship. These ships will have longer life, faster turnaround times, and lower cost per flight than any human-rated spaceship in the world. They are designed to fly twice a week, with a lifespan of over 500 space flights. This is a breakthrough design and a huge step forward in commercial space. Second is our spaceship factory. We've made the needed non-recurring infrastructure investments, and we are now able to add ships to our fleet quickly and cost-effectively, with a start-to-finish cycle time of new spaceships measured in months versus years. Third, our rocket system. We have created the world's most powerful hybrid rocket system, which is proudly on display in the Smithsonian. Our rocket system has outstanding safety features that are part of its elegant and reliable design, and the quick change capability of our rocket motor supports the fastest refueling and turnaround time of any single space vehicle that is capable of human spaceflight. Fourth, our customer and client experience, which is beyond compare. We have curated, honed, and demonstrated our industry-leading customer experience, delivering human-first spaceflight for private astronauts and unparalleled microgravity environments for space research and space scientists. Our fifth and enormously valuable asset is our carrier ship platform, internally known as our mothership, which rarely gets the attention it deserves. So let's give our carrier ship some airtime as we turn to slide 5. The first of our carrier ships, named Eve, has supported every test flight and commercial space flight for Virgin Galactic to date. This aircraft has several incredible capabilities. Its unique design allows it to reach altitudes of over 50,000 feet, and it can carry payloads weighing up to 35,000 pounds. Many aircraft can carry heavy weight to mid-level altitudes, and some aircraft can carry modest payloads above 50,000 feet. But this combination of high-altitude, heavy lift capability is very rare. We believe this is an opportunity. Turning to slide 6, as we've worked with industry experts to advance the design and planning of our next carrier ship, we believe the same high-altitude, heavy lift capability that supports Virgin Galactic's suborbital spaceflight business can also be of value to government and research customers, especially when a derivative model adds extended flight duration. HALE aircraft, HALE being an acronym for High Altitude Long Endurance Air Vehicles, are needed for several types of government and research missions, and we plan to explore the opportunity for a unique HALE Heavy derivative of our carrier platform in the future. But first things first, and the absolute first thing, is to bring Virgin Galactic to EBITDA positive operations by putting 2 of our new spaceships into service. So let's turn to slide 7 and talk about how we are unlocking the growth and profitability of Virgin Galactic. 2024 was the year we designed our new spaceships. 2026 will be the year we fly our new spaceships. But 2025 is the year we actually build the first of these amazing new vehicles. With safety above all as the bedrock value of Virgin Galactic, we are working diligently to bring these ships to life, with exceptional quality embedded at every stage. One of the places we have invested heavily in quality is the long-lasting aerospace tools that are used to build the parts of our spaceship. These tools are key to creating the best possible parts and the most efficient assembly for each and every spaceship. These tools are also key to creating long-term value, as they will be used again and again to expand our fleet. Slides 8 through 13 of the presentation have been included to provide a glimpse into the incredible progress that's been made by our Virgin Galactic teammates, as well as by the hugely dedicated teams at Carbon Aerospace and Bell Textron. And while I can't name them all on this call, we are extremely appreciative of the outstanding work that is happening across the many companies who make up our extended supply chain. All these groups are excited to be part of commercial spaceship development, and they are building momentum as our collective efforts become very visible and tangible. This is an unusual topic for an earnings call, but I think it's important to share this level of detail as it underpins our progress and our forecasted delivery dates. There are 3 structural elements that come together to build our spaceships: the fuselage, the feather, and the wing. If you're following along with the presentation, there will be a graphic of the spaceship in the upper right corner of these upcoming slides, and the images on the slide refer to the sections highlighted in green. In slide 8, you can see the primary fuselage subassembly tools that are located in Carbon's fabrication facility. These tools are used to fabricate the upper and lower skins of the cabin shell. Moving to slide 9, you can see the feather subassembly tooling. These tools have highly complex geometries, and they are used to make the largest part in our spaceship. Slide 10 shows the bulkhead, which is the major structural element that separates the cabin from the rocket system. The image shows the sheets of carbon fiber being laid up within the bulkhead tool before the entire assembly is sent to the autoclave to cure the part. On slide 11, we are using an example with the wing to give you a sense of how the entire part fabrication process works. Starting at the left, the first image shows technicians placing layers of carbon fiber in precise patterns with varying thicknesses on the tool. Once this layup process is complete, the tool and the carbon fiber are moved into an autoclave, which is a huge pressurized oven that cures the part in a way that gives our composite structures their strength. On the right, you can see the finished wing part ready for inspection and shipping to the spaceship factory in Phoenix. On slide 12, you can see the process steps used to create our oxidizer tank. This tank is a critical component of the spaceship that holds our liquid oxidizer for the rocket motor, which powers the spaceship to space. The oxidizer tank in our prototype ship, Unity, only supported 40 to 50 flights before needing replacement, which would have required extensive maintenance downtime. The first of our new tanks is complete and is shown here in the test stand about to enter cycle testing. Cycle testing will establish the expected lifespan of the tank, which we project to be many times higher than Unity's. This is one example of the many places we have redesigned our spaceship to minimize maintenance downtimes and enable multiple space flights per week on a sustained basis. Our next tank will be entering the autoclave this coming week. This tank is designated for our first spaceship, and it is on schedule to arrive in Phoenix in time for installation into the fuselage. Slide 13 shows a still frame from a video our Spaceline president, Mike Moses, released this morning highlighting the top 10 things he was excited to see happen over the last month. If you haven't seen it, it's a quick and a fun way to showcase our progress, and I encourage you to watch it on our website or social channels. This will be an ongoing feature from Mike every month or two, and we will make it available to our customers, our investor base, and our fans so they can track along with our progress. Slide 14 previews several key milestones that will be taking place in 2025 and 2026. In March, we'll start assembly of our first spaceship in our new spaceship factory. This moment has been years in the making, and our manufacturing team in Phoenix is chomping at the bit. Building and testing of the first ship continues throughout the year, and we'll be highlighting the many tangible milestones along the way to mark our progress. Our first test flight, a glide flight, is expected in spring 2026, which will lead to our first research space flight in summer 2026, and our first private astronaut flight, which is expected in the fall of 2026. It's exciting to see the momentum and visible progress ramping up. As the ship comes together, we will be inviting our customers into our spaceship factory to meet the team and see how the ships that will bring them to space are being built. Speaking of our customers, I was recently talking with one of our future astronauts about how different our approach to building these new spaceships is relative to how our prototype spaceship was built. She was very curious to understand how we are building and flight testing new spaceships so much faster than we had done in the past. I imagine that if a long-term customer is curious, it's likely some of you are as well. So I've invited Mike Moses, our Spaceline president, to share his perspective on the changes that drive confidence in our current schedule. Over to you, Mike.
Thanks, Michael. I've been part of Virgin Galactic as we built and did the flight testing for Spaceship Unity. Building and flight testing are two important phases. I want to talk about how we are approaching both of them in a different way with our Delta class program. Let me start by talking about the build phase, where we have high confidence in the schedule based on three factors: design software, high-quality suppliers, and an experienced team. First, before we even started making tools and parts, we built the spaceship digitally using advanced model-based software. This digital twin of our spaceship allows for precision in the design, especially as it relates to how various parts will fit together and interact in the real world. Each part is referenced to a fixed plane exactly where it will be placed in the spaceship. And this lets us determine everything from where to place the bolts on one part to the bolt holes on the adjacent part to where the brackets need to be placed to hold the wiring and the plumbing. Despite best efforts, sometimes parts don't perfectly line up, so our design allows for certain parts to have tolerance to float and absorb any small deviations that may occur during manufacturing. This allows for a speedy assembly as the parts arrive into Phoenix. Second, our parts are being made by suppliers who are industry leaders, companies that are used to mass producing parts. They have proven processes and controls in place to make and inspect all parts before shipping them to our spaceship factory in Phoenix. Coupled with the digital thread I just mentioned, we are making these Delta spaceships in the same manner and with the same suppliers as modern aircraft. By comparison, our prototype spaceship Unity was built and assembled in a very linear fashion, often requiring the assembly sequence to pause as we needed to rework parts to ensure the proper fit. Lastly, our team has experience with assembling spaceships. The folks setting up and running our spaceship factory are our most experienced technicians and leaders. They built Unity and will be bringing all of these learnings to bear. Our factory itself is laid out based on our past experiences. We have assembly work areas designed to provide an extremely efficient and effective build flow, and our engineering teams will be deployed directly to the shop floor so they can enable rapid resolution of any issues that may arise. In summary, Delta was designed intentionally to allow for an efficient build using aerospace industry-proven methods. The model-based software, the precision of the tools, combined with our suppliers' process controls and our highly experienced assembly team, enables a much shorter timeline. Now let me pivot to discuss what happens once the spaceship is built, which is flight testing. It's important to keep in mind that Delta is able to take advantage of the years of flight testing that went into spaceship Unity. Unity required moving in small incremental steps to build up the knowledge about the spaceship's performance and limits. The test flights of Delta will be much more like regression testing, where we are incrementally expanding how Delta flies, but doing so by comparing it to how we know Unity flew. We aren't forging ahead into unknown territory. Another key difference between Unity and Delta is the use of our Iron Bird, a full-scale engineering testbed of the Delta spaceship systems and electronics. Gathering this test data prior to flight tests helps shorten the timeline. Finally, while Delta will fly a similar number of test points, its ability to fly more frequently means that we will complete flight testing in months instead of years. These specific differences in how our Delta ships are being built and tested underpin the confidence in our delivery, and we are incredibly excited to send our first Delta ship to space in the summer of next year. With that, I'll hand the call over to our CFO, Doug Ahrens, to share a financial update and outlook.
Thanks, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. Turning to slide 15, in addition to presenting our recent financial results, I'll share my perspective on the tremendous strides we've made to build the assets that will create a powerful economic engine for Virgin Galactic. Starting with the fourth quarter of 2024, we generated revenue of $400,000 from future astronaut membership fees. As our Delta spaceship program advances, it drives a favorable trend in operating expenses. Total operating expenses for the fourth quarter were $82 million compared to $117 million in the prior year period, as our spending has shifted from R&D to capital investments in manufacturing assets that will be leveraged to build multiple spaceships. Adjusted EBITDA showed a favorable trend as well, being negative $63 million in the fourth quarter compared to negative $84 million in the prior year period. Free cash flow was negative $117 million in the fourth quarter, at the low end of the range we guided in our last earnings call. Turning to slide 16. For the full fiscal year 2024, we generated revenue of $7 million, driven by 2 commercial space flights as well as future astronaut membership fees. Notably, average ticket prices on the last space flight rose to $800,000 per seat, compared to just over $300,000 per seat in the prior year, indicating the incredible value being delivered to our astronauts through our spaceflight experience. The favorable trends in our financials were even more visible for the full year. As a result of cost reduction efforts and a shift toward investment in manufacturing assets for spaceship production, total operating expenses were $384 million in 2024, reflecting a 29% reduction from $538 million in the prior year. We reported a GAAP net loss of $347 million, representing a 31% improvement compared to $502 million in the prior year. Adjusted EBITDA for the year was negative $289 million, an improvement of 32% from negative $427 million in the prior year. Obviously, these improvements are a result of Virgin Galactic moving beyond the heavy R&D phase of spaceship design and now building manufacturing assets we will use to cost-effectively build our fleet. Michael showed pictures of the tooling that has been created to build spaceship components. These are high-quality, value-creating assets that give us the capability to repeatedly build additional spaceships at a relatively low variable cost of $50 to $60 million each, enabling a payback period of under 6 months for each new spaceship. Approximately half of our spending in 2025 is expected to be for one-time capital expenditures for tooling, manufacturing capacity, and the production of our first 2 new Delta-class spaceships. Our balance sheet reflects this growing capital investment, which appears as property, plant, and equipment, or PP&E. With these investments, the book value of our PP&E currently exceeds $200 million, and the book value of PP&E is expected to continue to grow and to nearly double by the end of 2025. Moving to slide 17, we ended the year with $657 million in cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities. In 2024, we generated $138 million in gross proceeds through an at-the-market or ATM equity offering program. Moving to our projection, revenue for the first quarter of 2025 is expected to be approximately $400,000 for astronaut membership fees. Forecasted free cash flow for the first quarter of 2025 is expected to be in the range of negative $115 million to $125 million. We expect cash spending to decelerate through 2025 as we complete the investments in tooling and manufacturing capacity to build spaceships. We are tightly managing our spending with fiscal discipline across the board. Turning to slide 18, we are providing a recap of our economic model, which clearly shows the business opportunity in front of us. Right now, we are laser-focused on achieving the economics in the first column with the introduction of our initial fleet of 2 new Delta-class spaceships. With just 2 spaceships and current pricing of $600,000 per seat, we expect to achieve an annualized level of approximately $450 million of revenue. Because of the tremendous value being delivered to our astronauts at current pricing of $600,000 per seat, our contribution margins are forecasted to exceed 80%, resulting in adjusted EBITDA of about $100 million per year with just our first 2 spaceships in service. Profits have the potential to grow exponentially as we add spaceships and another launch vehicle to our fleet at Spaceport America in New Mexico. Michael outlined the outstanding progress we are making with spaceship production and the key milestones ahead, leading up to commercial spaceflights next year. As we progress through these exciting milestones and march toward profitability with 2 new spaceships, we will continue to evaluate opportunities to optimize our balance sheet and also deliver a winning outcome for all our stakeholders. With that, I'll turn the call back over to Michael.
Thanks, Doug. As you can see, outstanding progress is underway across the company. As I mentioned at the opening, 2025 is a year of momentum, and that momentum has already begun. Our entire company is laser-focused on delivering these first 2 Delta spaceships in a timely fashion, consistent with the scheduled milestones discussed today. We are driving effective execution across all elements of the program, and we do so with a belief in our mission and excitement to see our first ship in space next summer. Let's open the call for questions.
At this time, I would like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. Before we take our first question, I'd like to turn the call over to Eric Cerny, Investor Relations. Please go ahead.
Thank you. For awareness, we filed a couple of post-effective amendments to our Form S-3 registration statement and a prospectus supplement this afternoon. These filings relate to our existing ATM program and our filing status. There is no new ATM program. Thank you, operator. We're ready for the first question.
Your first question comes from the line of Greg Conrad with Jefferies. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Appreciate all the detail with the timeline of flights in 2026, but how quickly do you think you can kind of ramp up from there? And then if we think about your baseline initial fleet model, is that a good baseline for 2027 now that, timeline has been locked in, just thinking about the speed of flights in 2027?
Hey, Greg, it's Michael, and I'll give a start to that. And Mike Moses is as a bonus with us today, and I'll let him add his 2 cents as well. So we will have done the ground testing and the flight testing to give us confidence in the vehicles, and we will have planned our maintenance strategies to enable these ships to turn on the pace that we've talked about twice a week, pretty much from the time we're ready to put them into private astronaut service, which we talked about in the fall. And so to your second part of your question, 2027, we feel we should be pretty much on track for the pace we've been talking. I think it's prudent for us to give ourselves a little bit of pacing, help our teams, get ready to what will be truly unprecedented volumes of not just commercial space, but any humans in space at that volume, and make sure that we are delivering the best customer experience every time. So we will prudently ramp ourselves up a little bit as we lean into that, but I believe 2027, if not right January 1st, right at the beginning of that year, we should be up at a pace that we've talked. Mike, anything you'd like to add on that?
Yeah, no, just in support of that, our test campaign, if you're familiar with flight testing, can be made up of several parts, a thing called DT and OT, development test and operational test. And we're able to combine the two. So while we do our flight testing program, we'll be testing out the operational side of things, both in the air and on the ground. And so you'll see some turnaround times during our flight test program that are fairly short, representative of the commercial service turn times, and you'll see some that are longer as we do more detailed data analysis. But the idea being, we get our feet underneath us in the development program, the test program, and then that last part of 2026. So, Michael, as you said, we would hit the ground running at full rate in 2027.
I mean, and I guess just as a follow-up to that, first research space flight in summer, first private astronaut flight in fall. Should we expect, multiple research space flights in that window before you get to the first private astronaut, or kind of what's in the manifest between those two events?
Yeah, Greg, exactly. I won't give specific guidance on the numbers of flights planned, but yeah, on the order of 6 to 10 space flights to test out all the various aspects. We'll be flying a mix of research payloads, employees, test subjects, checking out the cabin. But really, the point is to test out the systems as they go to space. And again, in my remarks, you heard me say, just as a reminder, this isn't the first spaceship to go to space, right? So we're building off the back of Unity. So we're really just testing the differences that we built into Delta. And so a similar number of test points, but yeah, I think we'll be able to go rapidly through the test program.
And then maybe just one last one. As the schedule has firmed up and you kind of have dates, what's your current thinking around reopening the order book and maybe any indications when we could see that happen?
It's back to Michael, Greg. I still believe the right timing for people to come on in Virgin Galactic is around a 2-year window. And as you, I believe, know, we have a solid book of business that will consume up our first year. So as we reach, I'd say, the end of this year, perhaps the opening of next, but probably the end of this year, I think that's the right time to begin opening up, say, reasonable-sized tranches of sales. I don't think we'll just throw the gates open. I think we'll pull in a group at a time and continue to ensure we've got an order book in advance of the capacity of our vehicles going forward.
Thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Michael Ashok with KeyBanc Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to ask first, maybe on the rocket motor. I know you've been testing the propulsion systems for the rocket motor, and have there been any changes in the propulsion system for Delta compared to Unity? Do you expect those to have similar thrust, efficiency, and burn time?
Mike, this is Mike Moses. So no changes to the motor itself from what we flew in Unity to what we'll be flying in Delta. As you saw in our presentation today, we did make a little bit of change to the tank, the propellant tank that holds our liquid oxidizer. So it's a slightly new design aimed at giving us lifetime. So basically more uses out of that tank on the order of hundreds of flights. So that's a change, but we'll be able to check all that out on the ground before we get into flight. So as it relates to the motor itself, similar thrust, similar performance profiles as to what we were doing on Unity.
And then on the first Delta flight being for research payloads, as we think about maybe the first year or two of Delta ships in commercial service, have you considered having a higher percentage of research flights at that higher margin, at least initially, to kind of accelerate your path to positive free cash flow?
I think we'll do a mix. There's balancing of all the constituencies here. Of course, we will prioritize ensuring the company is in good financial state and ensuring that as we fly our ships, those are driving EBITDA positive operations for us. We can do that and bring in a substantial percentage of those flights for customers that have been in the queue for a while, even though that they've been in earlier price points, which were much less. They've all been waiting super patiently, and it's time for us to fly them to space. So we'll be doing both. What's really important to know, especially for our astronauts who've been waiting so long, but for everyone, the capacities that we have with these Delta ships enable, we've put out, we believe, with a conservative estimate, 125 flights a year. At 6 people per ship on those flights, we'll be able to move through our existing backlog of people fairly quickly. So we can bring in a high percentage of research flights at, as you mentioned, probably higher rates than some of our early pieces, and also bring in our existing astronaut base and fly them quite quickly. So I think the capacity will give us the chance to do both, and then we scale from there.
Okay, and then lastly for me on the Redwire announcement, it was good to see that. How do you see the commercial research market evolving over the longer term? Maybe you could talk a bit about that agreement that you have, and just wondering if you see more opportunities for similar contracts going forward, or if you've maybe thought about the size of what that addressable market might be. Thanks.
It's nice having Mike Moses on this call. He and I look at each other and like, hey, okay, you're from NASA in your past. Why don't you take that one and I'll pick up on it. So go ahead, Mike.
Sure thing. Yeah, the agreement with Redwire is fantastic, and I think it highlights, not only what we're doing here at Virgin Galactic, but what you see in the commercial spaceflight industry in general, which is a real surge in the commercialization opportunities that spaceflight offers. Our platform, while maybe not unique in its capability, certainly offers a unique way to tackle what I would call a really fun and kind of game-changing thing where researchers can fly with their science, right? So in most other scientific fields, you design an experiment, you go into the lab, you do it yourself, you get your results. But in spaceflight, you hand that over to a professional astronaut who's up on the space station, and they execute the science for you. So the human-tended research opportunities, I think, are immense in spaceflight. The commercial suborbital market offers a chance to fly very frequently, rapid reflight of your payload in your research. You can tune it. It doesn't have to be. It can be less cost because it doesn't have to be highly automated and live on a space station for years at a time. So I think that's going to be groundbreaking in what we can do. So I do think there's a big appeal to the research market. The Redwire contract specifically really kind of advances the technology application that we'll be applying. So the science, the meat of that agreement, right, is a smart locker that has power, has data, has communications with the payloads and the ship, and allows the researcher to have access to much more capability in the back of our spaceship.
And it's Michael. I believe I've shared this before, but as we watch the government, especially, really push both to the moon and to Mars, those will have lots of science and research being able to be leveraged and take advantage of those flights. It's still going to be very expensive to get to the moon. It's still incredibly expensive to get to Mars. And so any research that's going to be on those ships for those longer duration missions wants to be really figured out. And the best way to really figure out is to test and trial. And that's where we believe we have an incredible platform to allow people to refine, maybe adapt, toughen, or change their research that is planning to go further places. So we provide an excellent stepstone into the longer duration missions that research is so important to.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mike.
Your next question comes from the line of Miles Walton with Wolfe Research. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Good evening.
Hi, Miles.
I was hoping you could touch on the potential augmentation of the mothership for other applications. And I know that your plan is, I think, for 2026 to start on the mothership too. Is there a way, or do you see a path where co-funding is possible to maybe take away some of that burden as you bring on additional mission profiles?
Let me put the question to a bit of context, Miles, and then get to some of the specifics. So we've been consistent sharing our business model growth path. First things first, we need to get our first two ships into Spaceport America, get to EBITDA positive operations. Next thing we do, as Doug even alluded to in one of his pages today, add two more spaceships and another spaceship launch vehicle into New Mexico so that we fundamentally build out that first spaceport, and we get all sorts of leverage on the fixed cost side to drive great exponential growth. That's phase one, a fully functioning spaceport in New Mexico. Phase two is to take that operation and replicate it in other parts of the world. As we've shared, we've had great progress moving with the Italians and looking at a potential Air Force base in the Puglia region of Italy. That is one of several places we could go, but a very, very exciting one. We're making good progress with them. So to take the model that we've effectively built, and as we're now talking, all these tools that we showed all the pictures of today, those are the same tools that will build spaceships for a spaceport in Italy, right? We've already built them. The design is already done. So it's quite effective for us to then add incremental ships. And so phase two of our business plan is to go to second spaceports. And so then there's like, okay, well, what's next? And there are many things that could be what's next. Obviously, we've been using the word mothership internally. A lot of people don't understand it. So just to make it clear, we're calling it a spaceship launch vehicle. Eve is our first one. And as we've been working on not just the beginning design phases, we're reasonably through our conceptual design, moving towards solid preliminary design, doing the trade-offs we need to do there. And we brought in outside experts to help us in that regard. We all pull back into what we've known for a decade. Eve, and any derivative of Eve, is hugely powerful in its ability to carry heavy weight to high altitude, and we talked about that on the call. So Miles, now specifically to your question, we put in an image there. Obviously, these carrier ships, these spaceship launch vehicles can carry spaceships, but if you can carry something that heavy to the height we do, you could also carry a pod that can do other things. And there are a lot of efforts there. You're aware, Miles, there can be ISR, which for those who don't know the acronym, Intelligence, Surveillance, Reconnaissance missions. There's testing missions that go along with that. There's a lot going on in the U.S. right now, as I'm sure you're aware, that could use something that could carry heavy payloads to high altitudes. Our derivative would need to have further range, getting to the long endurance part of HALE. And we understand how we would modify the existing Eve ship to enable that. So specifically to your question, is there opportunity for people to partner with us, and will we look for people who might want to partner with us? I think that's a super smart opportunity for us, and one that we are actively paying attention to because we think this is a real potential for the government. With that said, first things first, we have to keep ourselves laser focused on getting to the first of these two ships out, and then the second one right behind it, so we get to EBITDA cash flow operations. So we are staying almost entirely on that. But the small group, the Tiger team we have against these carrier ship platforms as we grow, absolutely is looking into how we could partner with other people, largely who do more military support for the government, and seeing if there's an opportunity to partner for good for everyone.
Okay. No, that's crystal clear, Michael. And then, Doug, I think I heard you right, but just correct me if I'm wrong. Did you say that 2025 cash consumption would be below the 475 in 2024? And then I think on the last call, you were looking for 2025 first quarter to potentially tick up in cash flow consumption, which doesn't look like it's happening. Has there been sort of resequencing of cash profiles since the last call for the better?
No, there's been no real changes other than we talked about a peak in Q1. I think that peak's a little lower than we projected. So then the trend down for the year will continue, and exiting, we had talked about exiting below $100 million spend by the fourth quarter. So yes, definitely lower spend in 2025 than 2024.
Okay, thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Oliver Chen. Again, if you would like to ask a question, press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Mr. Oliver Chen, please go ahead.
Hi, it's Tom Nass on for Oliver. I wanted to ask a follow-up on the previous free cash flow question. Between now and summer of 2026 or fall of 2026, how should we expect the trajectory of free cash flow to ramp to positivity over time?
Okay, this is Doug. Thanks for the question, Tom. So yeah, to expand on this, I think it's important to get some perspective of where we're at. We're in a really good position right now with our balance sheet, and we had been in the process earlier of building up cash that prepared us to convert that cash into assets now. That's in the form of manufacturing capacity, tooling, and now our first 2 spaceships. And I mentioned on the earlier remarks, you can see this in our book value, right? It's now over $200 million in the property, plant, and equipment, and that will continue to grow substantially. So now you're going to see spending going down through 2024 and then 2025, and then going into 2026, because that investment in the capital will be behind us, and we're just moving towards commercial operations. So the way to think about this is we enter 2026, we've got some great assets available now. We'll have a couple of spaceships, and we're going to be going into commercial service. And what happens then is now we would start to see cash inflows ahead of the flights. So at this point, when we're entering commercial service and all of that, I mean, to use a football term, we're first and goal, right? We're in a really good position here. And I think that the value of the company becomes really obvious as we hit these milestones and move towards commercial service. So to put it in perspective, we would be trending down through 2025, as I said, and then 2026 is an inflection year because commercial service is in the summer of 2026, and that's when we start to see cash inflows coming in, and we become positive around the time of beginning space flights.
Great. And then as a follow-up, I wanted to ask about any potential updates you might have on the customer experience side of the business, especially given the potential progress on a second spaceport in Italy. And then overall, given the potential for a second spaceport, is there any updates to your existing private astronaut TAM estimate?
I'll take that one, Tom. It's Michael here. One thing, if you watch the top 10 video that Mike Moses put out this morning, it's great, it's quick, it's fun. One of the things you'll see in there is where we had a group from ENIC, the FAA of Italy, was at Spaceport America. And one of the things that we've done is been able to adapt our pilot simulator. It can get geographically accurate in the world, and looked at various flight profiles and ways to go from the base in which we're talking about in southern Italy. And boy, you just even look at that video, you can imagine how glorious it is to not just look over the boot of Italy, but all of what you're seeing in southern Europe there is pretty spectacular. So that's, real progress being made against that. I think I'm looking over to Mike Moses. I think that effort wraps up in 2025, the exploratory effort there. So we'll have some points of view by the end of this year about how we go forward in Italy. But it's a really good partnership and working relationship. You asked the question about TAM. I think you asked it specifically with the notion of an extra spaceport. I think the ability to go to space from everybody that we've taken up and everybody we've heard that has gone to space is so stunning and so impactful that people will really travel to where the opportunity is. Right? If you wanted to climb Everest, you have to go to Everest. So I think people will travel for this, and they clearly are. We have our astronaut bases from all across the world, 60 plus countries. With that said, I think being able to see different parts of the world increases the frequency of repeat visitation on this. I think it is not a one and done experience. And I think being able to have just the visceral experience of going and seeing the Earth from space is worth doing multiple times. But when you can see different parts of the planet, I think that becomes an opportunity to not just go again, but then if you're going again, bringing other people. So that's one way, I'll call it, the individuals don't change, but the number of times an individual goes to space probably does. And I also think there's just something natural to having deeper penetration of a market when you're kind of around your home base. And so I would imagine we'll see deeper penetration from Europe. If we have a spaceport in Italy, we'll see deeper penetration from Southeast Asia if we have a spaceport in Southeast Asia. Same thing in the Middle East. So we're excited to be over multiple places, but again, right now we're just focused on New Mexico and bringing that spaceport up to full capacity.
Mr. Chen, your line is still open.
Great, thank you. No more questions from me.
Thanks, Tom.
That concludes our question and answer session. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's call. Thank you all for joining. You may now disconnect.
Working with the CSPs,
Stand by, everybody, on the extra channel. I'm now going to send you over to the main channel. Stand by.
That is also where the enterprises are surfacing. Your enterprises are both with your CSPs as well as in terms of building on their own. They're both.
I'm going to bring you over now to the NVIDIA earnings. Stay where you are.
The CSPs are about half of our business. And the CSPs have internal consumption and external consumption, as you say. And
stand by on extra.
Of course, used for internal consumption. We work very closely with all of them to optimize workloads that are internal to them because they have a large infrastructure of NVIDIA gear that they could take it for AI on the one hand, video processing on the other hand.
Okay, link in the chat. I'm going to end the stream. Come and join me on the main channel for NVIDIA.
We're fungible. And so